Distress Centre Durham has been providing service to the Durham Region community since 1970 with a 24-hour telephone helpline. We added some services back in 2003 to better serve the needs of our community. We started a suicide support group for survivors of suicide, those that have been left behind by someone who died by suicide. We also do education in the schools around adolescent suicide awareness, and we have a resource center here in Whitby where we can hold meetings and provide information to people about community resources.
I became part of the program. I was actually referred by Ontario Shores, gave me the phone number after I lost my sister who died by suicide in October of 2012. My first experience with the program was the call-out program, which was phenomenal. I turned to every avenue I could when I was in crisis after it happened, and the call-out program was by far the best support that I had received up to that point.
We have a suicide survivor support services program that really encompasses everything from prevention through our 24-hour telephone helpline. It also has a drop-in once-a-month group. It has survivor call-outs, which is a one-on-one match, and our biggest program is the suicide survivor support group, which is an 8-week program.
2 years after my wife's death, I heard about Distress Centre Durham and took part in a drop-in, firstly. Secondly, found out about the 8-week suicide courses that were just starting and took part in I think it was the first or second course for 8 weeks.
I lost my dad to suicide 12 years ago. I was 19 years old and I really didn't have any place to turn to. I sought out a suicide survivor support group where I was living at the time, and from that moment I knew that I needed to be a part of this and helping someone else's through their crisis. When I entered into Durham Region, I sought out the Durham Distress Centre and found the Suicide Survivor Support Group. I was able to go through that support group successfully and then become a peer support facilitator.
As a facilitator, first of all, my role is to listen and to offer trust and acknowledgement. I have walked that road and I understand greatly what a survivor lives with and goes through, and I want to offer myself as a beacon of hope being further on in time.
At the group, your main role is to provide an example, and I think what I found is that when I saw that folks could actually get through it and have gone through it, it was an example for me.
As a peer facilitator, I was trained to offer insight about my experiences to others who have recently lost loved ones or in the past to suicide. I just gave my perspective on how I came through my struggles, things that really helped me and things that helped me progress through my loss of my father.
This program helped me by giving me suggestions, giving me supports, daily contacts with the people that I was in the group with, who I maintain friendships with now. And they're an integral part of why and how I got through.
Being a peer facilitator is probably one of the most fulfilling positions that I have ever had. I leave my family every Wednesday night to come here. I miss bedtime, and it's something that I am more than willing to do.
The main thing that I get at the end of each group is people come in shattered and they go out laughing.
Each year, our helpline takes approximately 8,000 calls from Durham Region residents. Our support groups, we usually provide service to between 30 and 40 individuals per year. And our call-out program reaches about 25 people per year. Our 24-hour telephone helpline takes calls anywhere ranging from people that are just lonely and isolated and need support, right up to people that are actively suicidal on the line, so are in the process of attempting suicide, and everything that falls within that spectrum. We operate serving those 8,000 callers every year with 3 paid staff and about 130 amazing community volunteers.
Distress Centre Durham does a walk the first Saturday of September each year, which began in September 2004, of which I was the chairperson of at that time. That is one of the greatest fundraisers we have in need to keep the Distress Centre functioning, to keep all these programs going, which are in so much need.
Supporting Distress Centre Durham is important. This is something that my family comes to the Suicide Survivor Walk every year, and we help support the Distress Center because I know that this is a program that could very well help my children one day.
I think that people should support the Distress Center of Durham because we never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
I would urge everyone to support this group because it's supporting your neighbor, it's supporting your family, and it's supporting yourself.
When you consider that 1 in 4 Canadians will deal with a mental health issue within their lifetime, it means that there are people that are going to be much more vulnerable to the impacts of that, whether it relates to their work, whether it relates to their family and their relationships, or their feelings of self-worth. And so we are supportive of every issue that a person might be dealing with. And our helpline experiences about 8,000 calls a year that relate to those issues. So supporting Distress Center is supporting people that are going to be impacted by difficulties within their life.